Hi everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and we are back again for the Star Trek Comic Collective. And this week we are excited to talk about a brand new comic. Yes, that's right, we have Red Shirts number 5 that actually just came out today. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get Red Shirts number 4. So I don't have the full story. And I was going to hold off and not talk about this until I had got that, but the honest truth is I have no idea when that's going to be. And I've enjoyed what I have read of this series, so I'm like, no, you know what? Just read it, talk about it, and it's going to be fine. So we are going to talk about, again, Red Shirts number 5. As you can see, the cover is excellent. That's kind of what drew me to the series was these very, Mars Attacks style of covers, right? Very cool. Um, and again, unfortunate that I don't have, actually, I don't have 2, and I don't have 4. But, we'll get those. But there are a lot of very interesting variant covers on these, too, that hopefully we'll be able to pick up down the line here. So, anyway, let's talk a little bit about this. This was, again, released just today. And the story for this kind of follows a security team that is sent to this remote station. There is some sort of top secret mission going on there. And basically, one by one, they've been dying these gruesome deaths, right? They eventually find out that there's a little bit more going on here. Oh, that looks good. 1 minute Roblox, 12 minutes, 10 seconds. I gotcha. Very cool. I'm talking about this comic. Anyway. And they're, it eventually comes to light that the Romulans are there too. They are invested in, figuring out what's going on here. So, I'm missing a big chunk of the story, and that's fine. But this one starts out here with basically, there are, I think, a total of 10, actually more than that here. There's 6 on that page and 6 on that. So there were 12 of these red shirts initially, and now we are down to just 2, Ensign Chip Miller and Ensign Zaina Rod, right? And here is Chip Miller. And this is a flashback scene here to when he lost his eye to a fearsome Mugatu attack, right? The Gamatu came at him, took his eye out, but he was there and kind of abandoned by Starfleet, right? He patched himself up, he did all right, and then he was rescued, right? So now in the present, above Arconia 89, we can now see that the Klingons are here as well, and they have captured the 2 remaining red shirts, apparently, right? This is Commander Mokrat, and he is met here by Captain Mokrat and Commander Revo, the bald Romulan there. So those are our characters, and they have basically there is a data disk that they have that has been downloaded with the schematics of the Constitution class starships, right? So they are going to give that over to the Klingons, and here basically she's trying to kind of sow some discord between them, saying, these Romulans are never going to actually do what they say. They're Romulans, right? And it works surprisingly well. Immediately the Klingons like scheming Romulans, so, and then they get into a little bit of a scuffle for the data disk there, and the Klingons, they admire her spirit, right? And she kind of uses that, and she challenges the Romulan commander to a one-on-one battle, a winner-take-all kind of deal, which obviously wouldn't work, but it's a good way for her to kind of buy some time, which is what I think she was doing there. So here you can see they're preparing for their final one-on-one battle. So So they get into it. You got some pretty good action scenes here, where they're throwing down some fisticuffs back and forth, and she's actually doing pretty well. And that's when Chip Miller enacts his plan. With a name like Chip Miller, you just had to know he was a freaking traitor. Spoilers. I mean, why are you watching this if you don't want to be spoiled? Anyway, oh my god. Look at that. The final red shirt meets her demise at the hand of the traitorous Chip Miller, who's revealed to be a Romulan spy. Whoa. And basically, they reveal there at the end that when he was on that planet and abandoned by Starfleet, he was rescued by Romulans, who then gave him a synthetic photograph, what do they call it here? A nanoscale photo data receptor in his eye. Pretty nifty. And, sent him in to be a Romulan spy. So he completed his mission. He was able to get the data disk. And then when the Klingons think that they've got what they need, nope. Of course, betrayed by these scheming Romulans. I like that page as well. I think that's pretty nice. That's a good effect, too. You got the Fakao, right? Very good. Anyway, they beam him back down to the planet, marooned again, alone again, but not for long, because he actually gets picked up in the end by the Enterprise. So, a very interesting end to this comic. I did not see that coming. And, man, I want to read that. I do want to read the rest of it now. So, I have told my comic book guy, get me those, please. So hopefully they will be coming in sometime, and we can actually sit down, read through the whole story, and get the whole, the whole feel of it. All right, let's see what else we have at the back here to show you guys. Coming out here soon, and looks like a trade paperback here. Star Trek Shax's Best and Worst Day. And I'm a big fan of all of the Lower Decks comic stuff. It just translates so perfectly from the cartoon to the page there. Some things in the ship's log here, but we don't need to go into that. And then here is the other kind of new stuff that we are waiting for. The Last Starship. We should have something new coming in on that we can talk about. And I don't think I've seen much of this series yet. I'll have to see if I actually even picked up any of that. But that does mark the end of Red Shirts. Here are the variant covers for this one. They had a lot of these kind of like propaganda type posters, as you can see here. You really can't see because it's very small and blurry. They're a little bit bigger. And these, I like these this style as well too. There was an artist that did a whole bunch of TOS like episodes in that style. I can't think of his name right now, but very awesome. Anyway, that was Red Shirts number 5. We did pick up another one today, which was the cover A to the Star Trek Annual, which we're not going to really get into today, but out of everything else he had there for me, there's a few other variant covers, but nothing that really looked too outrageous. It's pretty cool. Here, let me check that out. Shax. Love Shax. Anyway, so there wasn't a whole lot of comic stuff there today, but Red Shirts number 5 sure was, that was, I was glad to get that right on the day it's released, right? That was cool. So, happy for that. Happy to be able to sit down and talk about it. It was a very interesting series, and definitely one that I want to, explore getting some of those other covers too, because, just, I really enjoy that, like I said, this right here, whatever that style is called, I'm a fan of that. So, anyway, thanks for hanging out and listening. As always, my friends, live long and prosper. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.